quarters in the district.
That's wonderful. I'm not sure.
So if the state wants to do the calculations for the entire, or the Department of Education wants to do the calculations for the entire state the same way, once they have that information, then they have no way of knowing which districts have good quarters in each one.
We could tell.
I'm sure that they would appreciate that. And finally, there's also a letter from school boards saying that we are eligible for Master Board certification because of all of the training that the board as a whole has gone through. So that speaks well to our board and the commitment that we all have to training and learning about being a board member and how to run a district. I don't know if anybody else had any other new business?
Yeah, I do.
No, that's it. I mind ready.
Thanks. And this motion I'm going to make, Jim, is with you in mind, and specifically the comment that you made at the Chester Borough meeting that you thought this issue merited our board taking a look at it. So I'm hoping that you'll allow discussion on this tonight and see that seconding this motion. And that is that the board, in accord with the West Morris Regional High School District Board of Education Policy number 9126, the person referred to earlier tonight, point D, assign its attorney the task of drafting for the board's consideration at its March 22nd, 2011 meeting, a district-wide referendum in order to adjust the tax allocation for the West Morris Regional High School District operating budget from one based on real estate values to one based 100% on a per pupil formulation. Such referendum, if approved by the board, to be conducted on April 27, 2011.
I'll second.
Thanks.
Discussion.
I'll start. This is a request in its essence to allow the voters of our district to be heard on the issue of reformulating our, changing our funding formula for the district from one based on real estate values to one based on the number of students that each town sends into the district. You may be aware that a group of citizens for better schools has approached 3 out of the 5 municipalities, the governing bodies of municipalities in this district, and asked them to support this. That group has 2 other municipalities to go to, Chester Township tomorrow and Washington Township after that. And the 3 that have been visited and requested have each unanimously adopted a resolution requesting this district to allow the voters to have a say on the tax formulation in accordance with existing New Jersey law. This motion I'm making is in response to the interest expressed by the municipalities representing the taxpayers in each of their towns.
I forgot to mention in the business that I had also included in the packet a letter with the resolutions from those 3 towns for the board members to consider. Obviously, this has gained some interest over the last few weeks, and I know you were at the Minden Borough meeting. You saw that Jim and Jackie and I also went, and that was an opportunity for us to hear some of the community members' concerns. A lot of questions were raised about the process, about data, about the options and the feasibility. And so what I said in the letter is that I scheduled Mike Calver, who is our state expert on the issue to come to our next board meeting and discuss these issues and answer questions from the community.
I appreciate that. I saw that, the memo and the copies of the resolutions. One thing I failed to mention that the board, I'm hoping will keep in mind is that in order for this referendum to go on the ballot for April 27th, it has to be submitted to the county by April 8th. And the reason I'm suggesting that we ask Russ Weiss to draft it between now and our meeting on the 22nd is to be sure that we don't run out of time. That'll give many weeks for this board to consider all the factors that Kristen just mentioned, as well as give Russ the time he needs to do the drafting in order to meet the deadline of April 6th.
I've been studying this for probably about 20 years now. And I seem to be a lone wolf in what I feel our districts, our educational policies should be for the entire region. I honestly believe we should have one K-12 district between all the districts. It would maximize taxpayers' dollars and provide, most importantly, a better education for our children, because we would have combined curriculum. We would have one child study team from the beginning to the end. There are numerous educational advantages of such a system. Perhaps now is the time for such a review, to relook at something like that. You know, I understand what CBS is trying to do, but they haven't really looked at long-term demographic studies. Right now, preliminary investigations are showing Washington Township is shrinking its population, while the Chesters and the Mendons are growing in population. So whatever the outcome of something put on a ballot 10 years from now, it's going to be the other side. It's one of the reasons the entire state, 99% of the districts in the state are funded the same way we currently are. I'm not saying it's a good system, I'm not saying it's a bad system, I'm just saying that's the way it is. And I've got one more new business that can be taken care of later, because we're still on this topic at this point.
What you said?
Yeah.
I appreciate and very much respect that you have more years on this board than anyone else here, and you spent a lot of time looking at this, and you have very informed opinions about this topic. I want to emphasize that what this motion intends to set forward to advance is no more than giving the voters of our district an opportunity to be heard on it and to express their opinion. Today is February 28th. The vote will not be for 2 months until April 27th, which is a great deal of time for all of these issues to be fleshed out and discussed and considered by the voters of the district. This is no more than a request by the voters to be able to be heard on it.
Jamie, I would have two things to say to that. When we are sworn into office, we are taking, pledge to the Code of Ethics, which is also in our policy. In our Code of Ethics, we agree to make policies and plans only after consulting all of those who will be affected by those policies and plans. In this case, currently, we've only consulted with 3 governing bodies. You said that CBS is going to Chester Township tomorrow, and when are they going to Washington Township?
I don't know, in March. I don't know what the date is.
Okay.
But
they are going. So I would say that as a board, we would not be doing our duty if we jump the gun and start this process without consulting all of the people who will be affected by this.
I appreciate that, and the reason that this is being suggested is so that Russ Weiss can do his work between now and March 22nd, so that after we have been to Chester Township and Washington Township, this board will be in an informed position to consider such a referendum. If we wait, I'm concerned that between March 22nd and the April 8th deadline, there won't be enough time to get it on the ballot for April 27th.
Why did you wait so long to bring it to us? I think in the paper it said that we formed this group over the summer. So to wait this long to bring it to us really puts us in a position where we have to either do exactly what you're asking, not consider any other options, and make a decision based on just that one parameter without consulting everybody who would be affected by this plan. Or
CBS went public on January 25th with this meeting at Menham Township.
this is the first time anyone's come to the board, though.
Oh, it's been in our information package, the articles.
Right, but only for the last few weeks.
Well,
CBS, Jamie, Citizens for Better School, right? How is this bettering any of the school systems? Because I'm here. Let's go.
Citizens for Better Schools is a group of residents from Menham Township, Menham Borough, Chester Township, and Chester Borough who share a common interest in pursuing excellence in education, efficiently delivered, and fairly funded. That group has decided to tackle the latter first, which is fair funding. The others are coming.
But where are you going with this? Because I can't see this really going any further than that, Jamie. And I gotta tell you, as a board member, I was not voted upon by Washington Township to change what's happening in Trenton.